What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down STEFON Diggs and his route running ability. I think he is one of the best route runners in the NFL, and the way he uses his feet off the line and the way he's able to create separation at the top of his routes is the reason why he's so good. And guys, please leave in the comments who you would like to see me break down next. I'd really appreciate that. Let's get this breakdown started. So we're going to come back to this first play here. This is from training camp, and we're going to watch this thing full speed one more time, then we're going to break it down. So he's coming off. He gives this pressure step to the outside, selling like he's running in and out, gets the DB's hands off of him, comes back to this ball, snaps down, gets in and out of this break, least amount of steps possible. So here, he's coming off the line full speed. Now, a lot of you receivers, what we got to do is we got to focus on running, okay? Right here, good pad level, just run. Don't think about it, just run. Going full speed. Don't gear up for anything. So he puts his foot in the ground like he's selling out. Again, head and shoulders to the outside. This is a great angle coming off here. Stick, head and shoulders to the outside. This hand comes up. That's the one thing I might critique just a little bit on there, because when that hand comes up, and I think he'd probably be the first one to tell you, that's letting the whole stadium know that he's making a break. So I would like to keep those hands by my chest, but he does a great job of giving his head and his shoulders to the outside. Now, he goes out for 3 steps. Now, when he changes directions here, I want you to watch his right leg. This is his snap down leg. So he's coming down, snap down, and again, his hips are violent. He's getting his chin to his knee, and look where he's attacking. He's attacking the back of this guy's elbow. That's a point of control, guys. So coming here, violent hips, attacking the back of his shoulder, getting his chin to his knee almost, being in a very explosive position right here so he can get in and out of this break. And now he gets out of this thing in 4 steps. So he's coming out 1, 2, 3, 4 with this left leg, and see how he's pushing off of this inside arch because he's trying to get back to the quarterback. He's running this curl. He wants to come right back to him, pushes off of this leg. He's pumping those arms. He's accelerating out of this break and coming back to this ball and making this catch. It's a great job getting in and out of this break, least amount of steps possible, 4 steps. So he's coming back here, 1, 2, and see how these 2 and 3 steps angle him back downhill. They're not going straight out towards the out. They're angling him back so he could turn his head around, 2, 3, 4, snaps that head back around, gets his numbers to the quarterback, pushing off this inside arch, coming back to this ball, and then making this catch. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming off the route here, to the out, snap down, violent hips, get those shoulders off of him, pushes off that leg, 4 steps in and out of this break, catches this ball for a great job. Okay, so this is another clip from training camp. He's going to be running a fade right here. Let's watch this thing. He kind of gives this slow play release off the line, and then he's able to get upfield, restack this DB, look when he's open, and catch this ball. So let's break this thing down. So he's coming off the line. Now this slow play release that he does right here, where he kind of slides him to the outside, slides him left here. Commonly, what that's setting up is he's going to be putting his foot in the ground here. He's going to go left leg, and he's going to be running a slant, okay? Or he's going to give him a little bit of a double move, and he's going to run a slant. And I'm assuming he's probably ran a slant off of this before. Once he gets to this point, you see how the DB hasn't fully committed his hips yet, because he's going to be thinking slant. He's sitting slant right here. He doesn't want to get burned to the inside. He's not going to fully commit his hips to the outside. So Diggs does a good job of making his routes look the same, make everything look the same off the line. And what he does is he just kicks into second gear, and I want you to see this little bit of a shoulder dip from his right shoulder to make sure that he gets those hands off of him. He swats the DB's left hand, dips so he can't get him with that left, to get him with his right, and then he's able to get upfield. So that slide, get the left hand off, dip the shoulder so he misses with the right hand on the recover. Now he realizes he's a little bit too close to the sideline here. So what is he going to do? He's going to restack this DB and get on top of him, so he's chasing his back hip. So what he does here is he restacks this DB. He beats him. Once he's got him beat by about 3 steps, it's a good DB here. Once he's got him beat by about 3 steps, now he's looking for the ball. He's got some separation. DB doesn't have any hands on him. Kirk Cousins is going to drop this ball upfield about 5 yards, and he's going to be able to run it down and make this catch. Again, showing late hands, not too late of a hands, but that's a great job going to the ball, not waiting for it at the last second, catching this thing with his hands, and again, looking this thing in with his eyes over a deep ball. A lot of people ask me, how can I get better catching this thing over the shoulder, looking it in? That should be a stress of yours. Look that thing in all the way to the catch, right to the tuck, so he could get upfield, and he scores this touchdown in training camp. That's a great job using a slow play release to get some separation on this fade. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. Coming off, slow play, kicks up into second gear, dips that shoulder, doesn't have hands on him, restacks him, shoots that head around, looks the ball in for a catch. That's a great job. Okay, so now he's going to be running like a comeback and go right here. Now we're going to watch this thing full speed, then we're going to break it down. So he's coming up full speed, pressure step, break down, stick, get upfield, looks when he's open. Let's break this thing down. So coming off the line here again. Good pad level, eyes are right at this DB. He's selling like he's just trying to go right by him, run a fade right now. So what this pressure step does right here, we call this a pressure step, a little bit of head and shoulders to the inside. He's exploding off this inside arch. Now he's focused on closing the gap with this DB. He wants to close the gap with him, step on his toes. See how he's attacking right at him. He's squared him up. He's going right at this DB to get him on his heels, to get him backpedaling out of there. Okay, that's the goal of this, to get this DB backpedaling out of there. So what does he do? He's attacking him. His eyes are looking straight at him. He snaps down with the left leg here. This snap down, what this is selling is he's just going to be going comeback right now. So he goes 1, 2, 3. That's how fast he needs to get out of this break. It's 3 steps on a comeback. So he goes 3 steps. So 1, 2, 3. The 3 steps are angling him back down on this 45-degree angle. What does that get this DB to do? DB's biting. DB's breaking downfield. He thinks he's just going to be running a comeback. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sudden stick in the ground. A little bit of a head and shoulder move to the outside. He's pushing off the inside of this foot, and he gets this DB to bite on this comeback, and now he's exploding upfield. Now, what does he do here? He doesn't think that he's got him beaten. He doesn't look around right now. He's still pumping his arms. He's still running fast, so he could get some separation from this DB, and now he's looking. Now he looks back for the ball when he's got him by about 3, 4 steps because he knows Kirk Cousins is going to be throwing this thing with some air over the top for him to get a touchdown. That's a great job by STEFON Diggs getting some separation on this comeback and go. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. Coming off the line, pressure step on his toes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sudden stick, explode off that inside arch, coming up over the top. So now he's going to be running a squirrel route right here against Richard Sherman. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. A squirrel route is an out, up, and then back out. So we're going to watch this. We're going to break this thing down and why this works so well. So he's coming off the line here. He goes 1, 2, third inside step. Third inside step right here. And again, I want you to look at his upper half. He gives an aggressive, violent head and shoulders to the inside. Sudden stick right here to sell this out. Like he's going to be running an out right now. So now he's going, and he's not even looking back for the ball. He's looking straight to the sideline. Now you're going to see how this plays into effect later in this video. But see, Richard Sherman thinks he played this well. He's looking at him. His head's looking at the sideline. He knows he's not getting the ball on this out. So what he does here is he puts his foot in the ground here. He goes 1, 2, 3, sudden stick, like he's bursting upfield on this fade right now to sell this out, to sell like he's just going out and up right now. Now, see, Richard Sherman's here. He's bursting upfield. Now, STEFON Diggs does a great job of attacking this blind spot, selling like he's trying to go inside of him right now to get Richard Sherman to turn around, force him to do like a speed turn out of there. And what does he do? Richard Sherman is in a very bad spot right here. His eyes are not on him. STEFON Diggs is in this blind spot. He has no idea where he's at. So what does he do here? Again, what was I talking about with that right arm? It's letting the whole stadium know that you're making a break. Right here it works out because Richard Sherman can't even see him. But he's using that right arm he shoots that right arm up. I would like that right arm right by his chest. But he snaps down here with that right leg. Again, violent hips. You want to be explosive with your hips. Coming up, explosive hips. 2, 3. Again, gets in and out of the break. Least amount of steps possible. Makes Sherman fall. It's 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. As you can see, that 2, 3 angles him back downhill on this 45-degree angle so he can pivot out of there. He snaps that head back around, and now he's coming back to this ball, gets Richard Sherman about 5 yards of separation here because he was in that blind spot, because he was able to exchange out of that break, least amount of steps possible. Imagine if he just taken 5, 6 steps right here and he beat the drum like all these coaches love to say. Richard Sherman would be able to react, but that's the fastest way to get out of the break. He makes this catch for a great job. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So he's coming off the line here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sudden stick, attack that blind spot. Least amount of steps possible. Get in and out of this break. Make this catch. Okay, so now he's going to be running an out and up. Now, he runs 2 kinds of out and ups, and it's good to change it up. Let's watch this thing full speed. This is against Josh Norman. Bam, 1, 2, and he just rounds this thing and gets full speed right now. He doesn't give an indicator. He doesn't give a stick, but he does later in this video, as you guys will see. So he's coming off right here. Bam. 4th inside step. He gets some head and shoulder to the inside. He's got this toe straight forward. He's exploding off this inside arch. Look at Norman. He's completely opened up on this gate. He thinks like he's just going post right now, or he's doing an in-breaking route. Bam. Inside arch. He's exploding off of this leg. You can see his good shin angle, head and shoulders to the inside. Now what does that do? That gets Norman to react like this. Now he knows that if he spends too much time on this outbreak, he's going to give him time to react. So he's just going eyes straight here right now, and he's going to round this break and be fast and not make this stick after 3 steps. He's just going to round it and get right up right now because he knows Norman has no hands on him. He likes his odds just getting upfield right now, and so he's going to burst upfield, head straight down. He's beating Norman. He's going to get this ball right over the top. Kirk Cousins gives him a great ball for a catch. That's a good job being able to realize that he just needs to round the break. He doesn't need to do that stick. He doesn't need to spend so much time because he did a great job of getting him with that stick to the inside. He doesn't even need to sell the out that much on this out and up. Just get upfield. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So 4 to the inside, just round this thing off. Let's get upfield right now. Let's look when we have him beat. Kirk Cousins throws a great ball over the top for a big gain. That's a good job. Okay, so he's going to be running a fade right now, and he's in this slot. So right now I want you to pay attention to how well he attacks the blind spot of this DB right here. Let's watch this thing full speed. So a little bit of a hesitation release, attacks the blind spot, makes him fall, sudden stick in the ground, and catches this ball over the top. Let's watch this thing. Let's break this thing down. So off the line here, he's got a little bit of space. DB's a little bit this catch technique right here. It's man coverage, obviously, but he's not right up in his grill. He's not right up on the line. Same thing at the top right here. But he knows that he's going to have to give a little bit of a hesitation to see how this DB's going to play it. So he comes off a little bit of a hesitation move, just a quick little jab to the inside because he knows he's got to get up into this route. This is a little bit longer developing of a play because we got play action here in the backfield. So he knows he's got to give him a move right here. He's got time to give him a move and then get upfield. So he works upfield to the outside here. Now, one thing I want you to notice is he's attacking the back shoulder of this DB. See, his hips are already committed to the outside. Diggs does a great job of selling it to the outside with his upper half, with his body, with his eyes. He's looking to the outside. This DB thinks he's just going fade here right now, which he ends up doing, but it's all a setup. So he comes here, he attacks the back of his elbow here, gets his hands off, gets him completely turned around. Again, he's in this blind spot. Diggs does a great job of staying in that blind spot like we saw with Richard Sherman in the previous video. So he comes here, attacks that blind spot. It's kind of tough to see, but he gives a sudden stick to the inside here. He's coming off, stick to the inside, attack that blind spot, stick here, makes that DB fall. DB has no idea where he's at. He's in the ground. He's staying in that blind spot, and now he gets upfield, snaps that head back around. Even when he's got so much separation right here, he still doesn't look until he knows for sure that he's got about 3 yards, and in this case, he's got a whole bunch of yards. He's got about 10 yards on this DB, snaps the head around. Kirk Cousins gives him a great ball over the top. That's a perfect example of what attacking the blind spot will do for you guys. Let's watch this thing full speed. So coming off, a little hesitation, slap the back of the elbow, sudden stick to the blind spot, gets him to fall down, catch this ball over the top. Poetry in motion, guys. So he's going to be doing a little bit of a split release here against Lattimore. And again, guys, these are all great DBs. Diggs is not matched up against average DBs. He's not matched up against the weakest DB on the team. He's matched up against the best guy on the team consistently, week by week. I know this year's been kind of rough for him, but consistently he goes out and performs. So let's watch this thing right here. He's going to be running a dig. It's a little bit of a split release, takes the inside, a little bit of a breakdown, chatter, violent steps, fast hands, fast feet. Let's break this thing down. So coming off the line here, a little bit of a split release here. He just takes this step to the outside, a little bit of a wide step. As you can see, still a little bit of a head and shoulder move to the outside here. A little bit of a split release. He takes this inside right now. Now, as you can see here, he takes this real kind of wide release because what he's going to do is he's going to work back into this DB and close the gap and try to get a little bit of a lean into him and then go over the middle. So he takes this little bit of a wide release, and now as you can see, he breaks down to get him to overcommit here. Break down, stick in the ground. So this is what we call fast hands, beating the drum. This is when I want you to beat the drum. I don't want you to beat the drum on your break. I want you to beat the drum, and you got to give a little bit of a chatter here. So he breaks down, break down, stick with the left foot. So break down, stick. That's what this is. We call it a square cut, guys. So he's here. Fast hands, fast feet. We call it rocket steps. Fast hands, fast feet, sticks with the left leg, a little bit of head and shoulder to the inside. And again, what did I say? Off the line. He took it so wide because he wants to get this lean. He wants to get a little bit of hands. He wants to get a little bit of a push off of this DB. Puts this left foot in the ground here. Break down, stick. Gets a little bit of a push. Lattimore doesn't have hands on him. This is a very bad position to be, especially over the middle when you got no help here on man coverage. It's a great job by Diggs taking a wider release, getting a little bit of a lean into Lattimore, and getting some separation for a catch over the middle on this dig. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So it takes a little bit of split release, jab, comes back inside, breakdown stick, gets a little bit of a lean, catches this ball for a big gain. That's a great job. Okay, so he's going to be working just a double move. We're gonna break down his release on this. So he's trying to take an outside release here, guys. That's the side of your release. So let's say you want to take an outside release and you're lined up like this. You want to step with your left foot first, okay? Your left foot comes first. And then if you want to take an inside release on a double move, you want to go right leg first. So let's watch this thing full speed and take a look at his arms. It's almost like he's playing basketball literally out here. Let's watch this thing. Left, right. Gets upfield, gets some separation, and now he's looking for this ball once he's got him beat. Let's watch this thing full speed. Or let's break this thing down, excuse me. So we're coming out here. So he takes a little bit of a hesitation with this front leg because, as you can see, he's got a little bit of a gap with this DB. He's not right up in his grill right here. He's got a little bit of a gap. He's playing disciplined man coverage here. So what he does is he takes a little bit of a hesitation here. One. Now this first step, again, head and shoulders to the outside. He's in a very explosive pad level position. What a lot of young receivers do is they stand up tall when they make this move. I don't want you to stand up tall. I want you to be in this explosive pad level position. So Toes straight forward. That's how you explode off of a break. Got this real good shin angle. He's pushing off this inside arch. That comes from reps in the offseason. Again, head and shoulders to the outside. Gets this DB's in a good position right now. Now he brings back with this second step here. He does a great job of working his upper half with his lower half. This is how you get separation on a double move, guys. You go left, right, moving your body with your feet. He's got an explosive position. His toes are a little bit open here. And as you can see, he'll have a little bit slower of a break out of there, but still pretty good shin angle. Head and shoulders to the outside. Going to get this DB to jump inside. Again, his cleats are out of the ground. This DB's feet are in the air while we're pushing off of this leg here. And as you can see, because his toes are open, he kind of has this vertical push off right here. He gets up tall. It's a longer angle with his hips, but that's all right because he does a great job of selling it with his upper half. That's why he's able to get separation. And again, has a plan for his hands. He's ready to swat with this left hand, swat his elbow in case this DB wants to recover. Hands and a plan for his feet. Swats him, and now he gets upfield, and he's not looking right away. He's getting some separation. He's got his head down. He's got a good pad level position. It gets him separation from this guy. Now he's looking for this ball to get this thing over the top. That's a great job doing a double move release here with his left foot first, taking an outside release, double move. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So left, right. Sudden stick, toes straight forward, then burst upfield. So he's going to be running a little bit of a post out here, and it's going to be off of almost a rocker step. So let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming off, 1, 2, 3, get some separation on this post, and then comes out. So let's watch this thing full speed. So he's attacking this inside again. Takes a little bit of this wide release because he wants to get a little bit of a lean into this DB like we were talking about before. So he comes 1, 2. So he's selling like he's going to try to just go rocker step right now. So 1, 2 to the post, 3. Okay, so it's 3-step. This is 3-step break. So 1, 2, 3. Now, we call this a rocker step, 3-step rocker. So 1, there's first 2 steps. What this DB's thinking with those 2 steps is like, oh, he's just going post right now. He tried to set me up with that left foot, tried to make me think he was going outside. Second step is selling like he's going post. He fully commits his shoulders and his head to the inside. That's what we need anytime we're working a post out, guys. You want to commit your head and your shoulders to the inside. And see how he's in explosive position with his hips. He's in a very explosive position right here. 2, 3 to the inside again. Look at this shin angle. He's pushing off of this inside arch of his foot. That's how you get separation on your breaks, especially on a rocker step, guys, and a head and shoulder move to the inside. As you can see, it's kind of tough to see, but a quick little head and shoulder to the inside gets this DB to commit his hips to the inside, commit his hips to the post. He's pushing off that foot. He accelerates out of the break again. He doesn't slow down. He knows he's got to accelerate out of this break. He snaps his head back around. He's pumping those arms. He's in a good pad level position so he can accelerate out of this break and make that catch. That's a great job by STEFON Diggs working a post out. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. He's just an absolute technician when he's running routes. So here, 1, 2, 3, to the inside, head and shoulders, comes out of this thing, makes this catch. Okay, so now he's going to be running a slant right here. He's at the bottom of your screen here. So he's going to be doing a little bit of a foot fire release. So fast hands, fast feet, stick to the outside, catches this ball. He gets his bell rung here, but that's a great job hanging on to the ball. Let's watch this thing full speed, or break this thing down. So he's got a little bit of a gap here. Again, man coverage. He's got to close the gap right here. He's got to step on this guy's toes, metaphorically. So what does he do? He goes fast hands, fast feet, foot fire. What does that do? That gets this DB on his heels. He's backpedaling out of there. He doesn't know what's coming. Active hands, active hands, active feet. Coming off this line, fast hands, fast feet. Stick to the outside. Head and shoulders to the outside. Explosive stick. You want to be real sudden with your feet. When I mean sudden, I want to be quick and explosive. Gets him to open up this gate a little bit to the inside. He's pushing vertical, or not vertical, but pushing on this 45-degree angle. DB has no hands on him. He stayed in that range where he wasn't able to get hands. Sudden stick, accelerates out of this break, makes this catch, and then is able to hold on to this ball, gets his bell rung, but that's a great job getting some separation, all the separation he needed on third down to make this catch, foot fire release, get up into this route. And see, his hands have to be so fast because Kirk Cousins is just going catch throw. He's just going catch throw right here. Ball's almost out of his hands, so he's got to be fast with his hands. He's got to be fast with his feet and fast with his hands. Let's watch this thing full speed. Foot fire, sudden stick, over the middle, takes a big hit, but that's a great job by Diggs making a play on third down. Okay, so this is that out and up we were talking about here where he goes a speed cut. So he's coming off this line here. He's attacking this inside. His eyes are inside. This DB's doing a great job of forcing him inside. This is zone coverage, so he's not going to be giving up. He's going to be trying to force him inside where all of his other defenders are, where all the help is. So he's coming out here. Sudden stick. He's selling like he's just going out right now off of this third inside step, and he turns his head and he turns his shoulders to the outside. Now, one thing he doesn't do is look back to the quarterback with his eyes, but he doesn't need to, I don't think, because he's just really trying to sell this thing like he's going out This is one of those where I would like him to sell it with his eyes, but in this play you're going to see he doesn't have to. He takes it out for 3 steps. So he goes 1, 2, 3, sudden stick, head and shoulders to the inside. Gets this DB to commit his head, just commit his shoulders, commit his body to the outside, to the out. He puts his foot in the ground here. He's going to be exploding off of this inside arch upfield. Gets this DB to completely bite down on this out route. That's a great job. That's what being fast will do for you. That what just running will do for you. And then he's able to get about 5, almost 10 yards of separation. And then Kirk Cousins puts this ball right over the top for a big catch. That's a great job using that speed cut on this out and up to get some separation. Let's break this thing down. So stick, 1, 2, 3. Doesn't even need to look back with his head. I would like for him to do it, but that's a great catch over the top by STEFON Diggs. Okay, so this is another route from training camp here. This is going to be another post out. So he's at the top of your screen right here. Let's watch this thing full speed. So coming out, bam, 1, 2, 3, break down. Almost like a pivot out of there. Like it's almost like a pivot route, but it's off of a post stem. So he's coming out 1, 2, 3 to the post. Now, the most important thing here, guys, is how violent his hips are, how well he sinks his hips. He sinks his hips, look, chin to your knee. That's what you always hear me say, guys. Get your chin to your knee. You're in an explosive position with your hips, so you could just pivot out of this thing, and he's coming back down to the quarterback. He's exploding off of this outside leg, as you can see. Let me just play this thing one more time. Violent hips, as you can see, he's just pushing off of that leg, getting some separation, making this catch for a great job working this post out. Let's watch this thing one more time. So coming off the line here, to the post, violent hips, in and out of this break, push off that right leg, and then catch this ball, guys. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Please check out the link in my description if you want the best football gear. And, guys, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. That would really mean a lot to me. I'll see you guys next time.